A very good morning. Our group has decided to pick the topic from question number 13, which is a good teacher should be meticulous and have an eye for details. Well thought out plans and programs for teaching will assist the productivity of the teacher. What are the other criteria to determine a good teacher? So, Ideal, what are your opinions for the best criteria to determine a good teacher?
Okay, thank you, Celine. Good morning, everyone. Based on the question, what are the best criteria to determine a good teacher? For me, a good teacher must have a good and excellent inner personality. So I will give you 3 points to support my statements. The first point is a good sense of humor. A good teacher should have the quality and characteristic of having a good sense of humor. As example, in a high school classroom, you will encounter pranksters, gossips, and problematic students. So, a good sense of humor can relieve tension in the air and can prevent the onset of disruptive students' behavior in the classroom, and also can be used as a way to attract the attention of the student in the class. So, it is very important for a teacher to have a good sense of humor in the class. And the second point is a good teacher also should be kind and gentle person. With that, students will love them, and when they do love them, they idolize them. Then, ultimately, they will respect them, do the homework, and eventually will bring greater outputs and result in the exams. Okay, the last point is friendly. I think the most important characteristic of a good teacher can have is to be friendly with his or her student. It is a plus if their student can share their problem with them without being afraid or hesitate. This kind of thing can create some bonding and trust between the teacher and the student, and it will create a good environment in the class. Okay, I think that's all from me today. Can we proceed with Amir?
Okay, thank you, Adil. What a nice point of view. Teaching young people can be a fulfilling yet demanding job. A combination of specific skills, knowledge, and experiences are required to excel in the profession. However, I do believe that the best criteria to determine a good teacher is knowledge. What good is a teacher without knowledge? It is essential for teachers to have a strong grasp of the material they are teaching. Elementary school teachers, for example, must have very good content knowledge in basic numeracy, literacy, social studies, and science. On the other hand, high school teachers who usually specialize in only 1 or 2 subjects must have an elaborate knowledge and understanding of their area of specialty. Teachers also need to know their children or student learning need. They need to know the expectation in development for students of different ages. They also need to know a variety of teaching strategies and disciplinary techniques. Furthermore, a teacher must also have a lifelong knowledge. Not only that student is being nourished intellectually, but also teaching them to become a better human being overall is important. This is so that they can contribute into the community to make a better living. For example, a teacher must implement good moral value, like respecting others, being honest, be concerned about others' well-being, because as a member of a community, we are not only living for ourselves, but for others as well as a whole. And that is why I believe that knowledge is very important quality for a great teacher. What about you, Alice? What do you think?
That's a wonderful thought, Alan. A very good morning, everyone.
Morning.
A good teacher should be meticulous and have eye for details. And I opine that a good teacher should be punctual. punctual is defined as a quality of being on time. So I'd like to point out the importance of being punctual here. A teacher can strengthen the integrity as they're being punctual. Okay. Let's say a teacher tells someone that he or she is going to be there at a time, going to meet that one particular person at a certain time. But then, do you realize that you're actually making a promise with the person? And in the meanwhile, say if you say that you'll be there by 8, but then you arrive around 8:15, so that actually you've broken the promise. And so being punctual teacher shows that you're actually a man of your word. So the second one is, it shows that you're dependable, a teacher that is dependable, whether it be with your colleagues or your students, you're dependable. People can rely on someone who carries duties needful for that particular time. If she says, or he says, that she or he will be there, he or she will be there, right? She'll be there no matter what happens, and if not, others can't rely on her or him. Then the associates will slowly begin to feel that he or she can't organize his or her own time. And these doubts can slowly seep into beyond the matter of clock, and naturally raises a question like, if he or she is careless about simply managing his own time, what else can he be careless of? Right. The third one is, a punctual teacher shows humility, a respect for others. Being late is a selfish act, eventually, obviously, and where it puts your needs above others. So you gain that extra minutes, and without realizing you're actually stealing that extra minutes from other people, which cannot be returned because that moment just passed by one time. So imagine if a student's been waiting for you for minutes inside the classroom because you're late into your class. That particular moment, they actually can do a lot of things with a wasted time, within the range of time. On the other hand, if a teacher is not being punctual, it actually disturbs the experiences of others. For example, the tardiness of a teacher can actually work the time of the students. And students all this time being excited and eager to learn the lesson of the day that is trying to be given by the teacher. And then, because you're late, that excitement actually fade away with time. This can create a not so good mood for them to continue their studies and tension. And secondly, it actually will strain your relationship with your students. Because if you arrive early in your class before you actually start the learning lesson, like say the class will start by 8, and then maybe you come around 7:45, like that. It actually can give you the opportunity to have a conversation with your students, to have this heart-to-heart conversation, and to create a stronger bond between you and your student, so that relationship is not rely or strictly on a professional kind of relationship. It's like a mother and a child, a father and a child. That will be a friendlier environment a school can have. So in conclusion, punctuality for me, my friends, is a crucial value a teacher can possess. Thank you. What do you think, Leo?
Yes, thank you, Alice, for the very nice point of view.
You're welcome.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So, based on the situation and question given, what are the other criteria to determine a good teacher? So, for me, I strongly believe that a good teacher, the best criteria for a teacher is their physical appearance. I have 3 points to support my statement. First of all, Nowadays, people always judge someone by its cover. So the first look impression is very important, as it will influence people's view or opinion about that particular person. Same goes to a teacher. Their physical appearance should show what they are like on the outside. A good teacher should wear a proper outfit and not wearing something that reveal their body too much, especially for female teacher. This is because as a teacher, students look at them as a role model. So what the teacher show is what the student will follow. For example, like the outfit. Yes. So next one is physical appearance influence student behavior. This is because, as I said earlier, that teacher is a student role model, and like so I give for example, when I was a student back in high school, I used to attend a mathematics class because the teacher was very pretty, good looking teacher, and she used to come well dressed in the classroom. So most of the students scored well in subject, and the attendance was always above 90%. So this shows that the physical appearance of a teacher influence student behavior. They come to class and pay attention and score well in exam. And so I also remember my history teacher. He used to come very shabby in the classroom, so no student wanted to attend the class, and so we can conclude that most of his students scored bad in his subject. And last but not least, a teacher physical appearance helps in controlling the class. This is because when someone dressed nicely or appear in a nice appearance, people will tend to pay attention towards them. This automatically reflects the same on student, because they respect someone who looks pleasant. So as a conclusion, I strongly believe that physical appearance should be the best criteria for a teacher. Physical appearance attracts people to pay attention towards them, and they take control of everything. This is why I choose physical appearance as the best criteria for a good teacher. Thank you from me. Celine, please proceed.
Wow, that's a very impressive point. Well, for me, I feel that the best criteria for a good teacher is passion. A teacher should have passion because when a teacher with passion, they will love his or her job and they'll do their best to teach their students. Passion means that they will not only do what they're assigned to, but they will do more than that, which they will learn more of knowledge. Knowledge not from just books, but knowledge on how to teach the students, how they should adapt to the students, and how they should communicate their students. These are knowledge. So with this passion, they have knowledge. When they have the knowledge on how to communicate with the students, the class will be interesting, and the students will tend to love the teachers because the teacher actually pays attention towards them. And when they have passion, they have love. When the love portrays in oneself as a teacher, the students will feel the love. When they feel the love, they will continue to follow the teacher and continue to work hard in their subjects. On the other hand, teacher with passion inspires students. Why is it so? Because a teacher with passion, they are actually a role model. They have moral values in themselves, and also they inspire their student to be a better person. They get students interested and excited about what they learn because they are the person who put in their effort into their job and not just being what they should be. Also, a good teacher will always find a way to get more interested in what they are teaching and to make things more interesting for their students. So when they get find out more interesting ways to teach their students, the students will feel honored because wow, my teacher is actually putting an effort on teaching me instead of just doing what a normal teacher would do. Because in my experience, my teachers, I have two types of teachers in my school. One, which is with passion. Another one is they are good, they have knowledge, but they do not have passion. And as a result, you can see through their exam result. Even I myself, when the teacher who teaches me with passion, my results are really good. The teacher who just teaches me with what they have and just what they should do, my results are just plain average. And my last point, which is a teacher with passion will always go the extra mile. The extra mile doesn't mean they just do what they should do. Extra mile is something that is very far and something that you wouldn't imagine a teacher would reach to that extent. Because normally teachers stays in their circle or in their square. So they never just go out of it. They never just touch what the outside world is. They're just in their circle. So when a teacher that has passion, they will go extra mile. Extra miles mean to understand the student. How to understand the students? They will understand their environment, their background, their social people around them. Through this, they will understand how the students learn and how this typical student of theirs able to absorb the knowledge. Other than that, they also understand the method of teaching. There are a lot of methods of teaching, but have a teacher ever found out what is the real method or what is the method that is suitable for their own students? Instead of following the majority, they should find out more about their student. This is why a teacher should be passionate about their job so that they will go extra mile. And also with passion, they will go extra mile by creating new materials. By creating new material means we are living in the century of 2017. 2017 is a technology era. And if a teacher who is still using the teaching materials from the 90s or from the 80s, it wouldn't be effective for the students nowadays. Because students nowadays, they will learn through technologies because they touch technologies. If you give them books and you ask them to read, memorize, or doing exercises, they will feel bored. When they feel bored, they wouldn't do anything. So a teacher who find updated materials to teach their students, it will bring a very good outcome. I believe so because I myself is one of them. And that is my point for today. Thank you.
Right, may I proceed, please? Sure. Right, after listening to the points being given by all of you, I think the combination of all the points would be a very good thing, the criteria of a good teacher, which is inner personality by Ideal, knowledge by Amir, valuable physical appearance, and patient by Salim. But however, the point that actually attracted me the most is passion. Because I think that the love to me is the root of every kindness. And from the love, there will be developed into passion. And when you have passion, the teacher can actually develop themselves in many aspects. Any aspect, they will work very hard to help the students and try to teach them to become more into an individual who is not focusing only on knowledge, intellectual, any worldly materials, but more than that. And the new materials you just said just now, yes, it's very important because it creates a relevance into the learning outcome of the students. And with the love you have as a teacher towards your students, you can actually switch from the job, convert it into career, something that you love doing, not just because you want to be paid as a teacher, but you actually want to see your students develop from time to time, and you will feel the appreciation within you. So what do you think about that, Amir?
Yes, indeed. I do agree with your point of view, Elise. Passion is very important, you know. Anyone can have knowledge, anyone can be punctual. But passion is what differentiates between a good teacher, and a typical teacher. Passion is what drives someone to excel. Thus, that passion, that energy from a teacher can be channeled to their students, making them score at least. So is my point of view. What do you think, Leopold?
Yes. After hearing Celine's point and Elise and Ahmed, and comparing to my point, which is physical appearance, I do believe that physical appearance comes from passion. Because without passion, the teacher wouldn't come to the class with a proper outfit. Which mean that the physical appearance.
Okay, excuse me, Leopold. I'd like to interrupt for a while.
Yes.
Alright, physical appearance is a come from patient, right? So that patient, actually, the love you have to your students, towards your career, drives you into improving yourself as well.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Else what you mean. Okay. Other than just focusing on your career towards your student, because you want to improve yourself as well. So you're actually teaching your students to be like not just studying all the other aspects in this life should be implemented also. So what you were trying to say?
Yes.
Alright.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Elise.
You're welcome.
And I did. How about you? Do you have any suggestion?
Yes, I do agree with Celine that passion is important, but I have my own point.
Yeah.
I think a good teacher must have an excellent inner personality. Like I have said earlier in our discussion, inner personality such as a good sense of humor, kindness and friendly is very important in class nowadays. This will help to improve our class environment, and this kind of thing will make the student to will catch the student attention, and this will make the study and will score in their exam. I think that's all for me. What do you want to add? Anything?
Okay, I will, after listening to all your opinions, I still stand on my point passion, because I feel passion is a main thing for every single point that you guys have suggested, which is inner personality, knowledge, punctuality, and physical appearance. Why I say this is because when someone who doesn't have passion in doing anything, your inner personality wouldn't be good. Your knowledge will just be very little, very limited. Punctuality wise, you wouldn't even bother to be punctual at all because you don't have passion. And even physical appearance, when you don't have passion in that thing, of course your physical appearance will be very bad. So I feel passion is the main thing that leads to all these roots. So I feel that without passion, you wouldn't even focus on knowledge, inner personality, punctuality, and physical appearances, because passion makes someone being interested in their own job, and with that passion they are able to portray themselves and help others, because passion is a very important thing in someone's life. If you don't have passion in any career or any job that you find, it is just you doing a work or doing a task that is being paid or just because to fulfill a requirement. So I feel passion is the best criteria to be a good teacher. So what do you think, Leopold?
So ideal, since all of us agree with the point passion, except you. Would you like to stand on your point or change it? Or change your opinion?
Thank you, Paul. After I listened to Salim's explanation about how passion is the main point that leads to the subtopic including mine, which is inner personality, she has convinced me to change my point of view, and I will agree that passion is the best criteria for a good teacher.
Yes, thank you, Aidil. So we can conclude that passion is the best criteria for a good teacher. That's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.